Hey, it's John with B&B Auto back again. It's been a while since I edited videos, so I guess I'll have to do that someday. Got a lot of stock video to edit. But today, we're going to be taking a look at Luke's 2006 Ford Explorer Eddie Bauer Edition 4-wheel drive. Last time we had this in the shop, there was we did some brakes, and there was still a noise coming from this, a squeaking kind of. And after some inspection, we found out that the front drive shaft that goes up to the front differential there is, well, this is essentially an all-wheel drive, so it's all-time. And that front drive shaft has a loose U-joint on the shaft. So we're going to remove that and replace the U-joint. We've got our new U-joint right over here. Got my master set of ball joint kit. I've got a heavy duty kit that I just bought. Nice addition to the tools, and that'll work for taking that U-joint apart. You can also do it with a hammer and a vise and some sockets and whatnot, but it's just going to be a lot easier using the ball joint press. Stick with us. This should be a very good video. Alright, here we are down below. Luke's got the camera looking at this front U-joint right in here, and you'll see if I wiggle it around, you can see how loose that thing is. So that thing is our suspected noise, or squeak, kind of a thumping noise going on in here. So what we've got to do, I don't know if you can see my finger, we've got to take these caps off on this side and the other side, so that this can come apart. And then if you look back here, Luke, without touching the catalytic converters because they're still hot, if you can see up in there, you can see the bolts right around. Yep, good. You can see the bolts right around the back here, so we've got to remove those. We're going to mark this so it goes back on in the exact same orientation, because this drive shaft, although it is rusted, is balanced, and so we want to make sure we put everything back on the exact same way it came off. Alright, so I've got myself a paint marker. Sorry about the noise, we got fans on because the floor is kind of wet. So we're going to go ahead and mark these. I'm just going to mark the cap. One line there. I'm going to mark the opposite side with 2 lines. That way we know what cap goes on what side. Alright, and then here I'll take the camera and just hand it to me, just leave it alone. A little bit tough to see up in there. Actually, I don't know if I'll be able to stick my hand up in there very well here. Stick my hand up in here. I'm just going to make well, we got enough paint on that one, and I just can't get my marker back in there. See if I can get it from underneath. So I just lined up my paint mark towards the bottom. I'm just going to mark on the bottom here, match up with that hole. And this really isn't that big of a deal, but I just like to make sure things go back the same. So we've got a mark on that side. Hopefully you can see. We got our paint mark all over the place on the bottom, but it's around that same bolt that I just marked on the back. So that will be good, and we'll get these out of here. Alright, got Luke running the camera, sticking way up in here. Tough to see, but we'll get that T25 in there, make sure it's in there good. Almost seems to, I'm just going to check the fit here, or T27, sorry. I don't know, it seems a hair loose. I'm gonna grab the next one up, make sure it doesn't spin. Pause that. Alright, we lied. It's not a T27. Felt a little loose, so I wanted to double check. I tried this T30, and the T30 fits in there nice and tight. So, I'm gonna go with that. Get that on the gun here. This is a wobble extension, so it has a little bit of play. Okay, here we go. Alright. Well, we're gonna have to grab a ratchet. Alright, these are a bit rusty, so we're gonna give them a squirt. Probably doesn't do anything, but give it a shot, right? Position it so you can see. We can pop this here. And of course, it's just going to want to turn. I'm trying to hold that. Yeah. Oh. Come on, I think I can grab the gun on it now. I got it. Alright. One of them. So, as you can see there, it's helpful to have a pupper to hold the axle. What do you think you've been running? Yeah. Alright. Ready? Switch it out to the gun again here. Alright. One cap off. Tight. So we'll spin it a little bit and get this other one loosened up. Switched. have to set the camera down and use two hands. Alright, now we're going to go after these rear ones. Try them with the impact first. Yep, no problem. Long. Must be threaded through some rubber that kind of get stuck in there. Gotta yank them out. Get them with your purse. It's not a whole lot of hand room back there. There we go. Got them all out. Let's see if this will pop loose or if I've got to grab a hammer. Yeah, we might have to grab a pry bar or something. Let's flip that camera around to see if we can get this front popped up first. Alright, well, I'm going to grab a hammer and a pry bar. Alright, grab the pry bar here. I'm just going to get it behind the knuckle. Give this a pop. Both of those popped off there. There we dropped a cap. There you can see a cap with no needle bearings in it whatsoever. That's neat. Alright, so now that's loose. If you want to look towards the back, we'll be able to give this a little bit of room, I think, here somehow. Let's see if this will work right here, maybe. Just put that on there and give it a pop. Oh, we don't really want to pull on that CV. Let's see. That's nice and rusted on there. if I can give that a whack hammer maybe here. On the back side. Yep, it's coming. I think, maybe not. Boy, that sucker is on there. We might have to step up our game. Okay, alright, we got serious. I grabbed the air chisel. I'm gonna hit this with some impacts on the back. Hopefully that'll knock it out of there. There she comes. Boy, that was stuck on there bad. Okay, now we've got to make enough room up front. All our rust shrapnel everywhere. Let's see here. A little puzzle. We've got to give ourselves enough room to get the back part out. Yep, there we can go up into there. Get the back part out. Drop that down. Slide the whole thing out. There we go. So we'll take this over to the bench and we'll replace the U-joint here. Alright, so here we've got the tip of the U-joint here. Doesn't seem to be too bad on these sides, but these sides are both bad. This one's got a few needles left in it, but they're all just loose and toasted, just garbage. The other one must have been for this side. Had no needles in it whatsoever. So next thing we'll do is we'll take pliers and we will get these spring clips off, these retainer clips on either side of these, and then we'll use the press to push it through one direction, take the cap out, push it through the other direction, get the other cap out. Alright, so we got Luke armed with a needle nose here. He's going to go ahead and attempt to remove the spring clip, see what happens. Trying to squeeze it, it might just break. Let's see if we can tap it with a hammer a little, Luke, and see if it'll move. Actually, I squirt it with some of that BB blaster laying on the floor over there. Let that soak in there for a sec. Yeah, try to move it with a, try to smack it with a screwdriver. Use the bigger one. See if it'll start moving. Hold on, let's do this. Yeah, you don't really want to clamp down on the drive shaft. I just have it kind of sitting there. But we will reconfigure this a little bit here so it's not on the shaft itself. Alright. Yeah, use that bigger one and let me try it. Trade you. Shouldn't try hitting it this way right here and see if I can get it to start to pop loose out of there. Started popping loose right on that side. Try to get it from the other direction here. Broke it. Alright. I'll start working it around this way. Kind of do that. Stick another screwdriver in so it doesn't fall down. Ready? Go. Cut that one out. Go ahead and flip this over. Squirt two. Looks like there's kind of some pressure on that. See how that one tip is up. That way. Check. dig that out a little bit. Alright, just gently clamp that in there. And grab my ball joint press. This fits over there pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Nut on my ball joint press. It's like a 22. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up. Run that down. Get that centered as good as possible. I'm going to go ahead and push it on through a little ways. Pop. Make sure that's gonna clear on the back side. Looks like I'll have to back it off. If you look down in there, see how it slipped a little bit. And I'll go ahead and reline that thing up. Set this back up here carefully. Put this guy in there. There. Change the angle a little bit here. Oh, I guess I'm going the opposite way. It's alright, we'll loosen it up and push it that way first then. This might make a pretty good pop too. Now we can loosen that up. And we'll probably just have to grab a pliers and we'll try to pull that cap out of there. Just give it some wiggles. We'll give it some taps. There we go. That one looks good. It's got all the needle bearings in it there. It seems to be okay. I'm just gonna flip this guy over. And looks like I can just sneak that right out of there. I don't have to pull both sides off. But we'll take the cap off of this side. And yep, that one's got all the needle bearings in there too. So just you can tell on the crosshair, these are great shape, nice and silver. These are rusted out, pitted, gone. All right, let's get the new one and put it in. Alright, sorry for the fan noise. I'm gonna stab this up the same way we took it out. We'll sneak it up alongside the engine here. Careful not to knock off your caps. There we go. Get it slipped back into its home back there. Can we get it in here? So, in the back, got my paint mark. It's kind of lined up the other one. So on these bolts, I'm going to go ahead and put a little blue Loctite on them. Looks like they had some Loctite on them originally. This thread sealant stuff or something in here. So I'm just going to do one at a time here so we can get it started. Just a little blue thread locker. See if we can get some light up in here for you. One started. So there's not a whole lot of room down here. Two going. Going to take a quick look in the front. Let's see what we got going on here. And you'll see there's a little tab. A little tab right there. We wanted to line up, get that in on both sides so I can feel it up on the top. Can't see it, but I can feel it. And I just push this way forward. I'm gonna go ahead and grab those tacks and get those started. Flashlight guide. crank them too tight yet. Get the other side going as well. I'm sure there's a specific torque, but this wrench is only so strong. Yeah, that grease port is going to be essentially impossible to fill, so I'm glad we put some in it. Let's use a needle. Alright, those are good and tight. Double check our retainers, make sure they're in all the way. Looks like they are. So we'll once again move to the back and get those bolts in the back. Want to start this stuff by hand, make sure you're not going to cross thread it. I'm sure I've never mentioned that on any of my videos. Alright, got them all started, now we can snug them down. Do a little bit at a time on either side so this gets pulled down evenly. Alright, we call those good. And just take a quick look at it from the back angle and spin it around here. Looking good. No gaps. It's even. Take a look up front. The only feel we've got is the backlash that's in the front end. Yeah, I just don't see how we can put any more grease in there. So I guess personally, if you have a choice, go ahead and get the non-greasable version. I'd like to put a little more grease in there, but it is what it is. There's some grease in there, and yeah, I may try to see if I have a needle or something that I can get in there and see if it mattered if it was a different angle, but it really doesn't. So there's a tip for you. When you're putting in a greasable one, make sure the grease is going to be accessible there, not on the right hand side of the tip, because when you have this bucket over here, you can't get to it at all. But if you had it over here, I think I could get to it if it was over here. But it is what it is. It's in there. We have to pull the whole thing back apart to change it, and we're not going to do that. And it should be good to go. Alright, we've got the new ball joint in. We're going to get this thing dropped down, take it for a test drive and see if there's any noise. Let you know if there is. If not, thanks for watching. This is B&B Auto. And that's how you not 100% leak correctly do a U-joint. We just got that grease certain in the wrong spot. So, but otherwise we'll be good to go. This thing's not going to see a billion miles. It's an around town vehicle, and I'm just trying to get a few more years out of it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.